Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Listen, I'm telling you, get in here, get in here, get in here, get everybody. Go start sharing. We start at 7:30. I hopped on at 7:29 because I'm a little bit excited and I want to give you all time to get in here. Listen, for those who will be popping on later, you are in for a treat. Those who are going to be popping on now, you're in for a treat. If you're popping on now, share, share, share. This is the second Boss Lady interview. I am Dr. Conti Terrell. For those who do not know me, I am the visionary author, speaker, international best-selling author, and I'm super excited to have pulled these amazing boss ladies together. And so listen, if you do not have this book, you want to go and get it. It is so freaking inspirational. I'm telling you, I'm not just saying it because I am the person who organized it all. I'm telling you, and if you are watching, please say hello. And we are coming to you via StreamYard. So please allow StreamYard to show me who you are. Say hello. Say, whatever you want to say. We want to, this is interactive. I want you to jump on. I want you to talk to me. I want you to talk to my special boss lady guest, Mrs. Tikila Adolph. And actually, it is her birthday. Hey, Denise. Look, girl, we had a ball last night. Hello, Paula Miller. We had a ball last weekend, and so we're about to have another ball. And look, we're going to all have a ball on March 19th. Paula Miller will be there with us, one of the Fresh Spirit Publishing authors as well. Denise will be there, one of the boss ladies. So we are going to talk really quick. I'm telling you, I got to do a little introduction before we bring on our special guest. Again, look at this. Look how pretty she is. This book is amazing. And I'm telling you, and it's thick, y'all. This is meat. This is a meaty book. You get a bunch of good information in here. You're gonna be, I tell everyone, you're gonna laugh, you're gonna cry, you're gonna feel like running out and conquering the world, and the reason I wanted to do this is because we all are alike. We all do. Somebody just gave me this. It's so cute. And look, I forgot. I didn't even take the tag off. I got to pull the tag off. All right, there we go. Thank you, LaWanda, for my beautiful bracelet. I forgot to pull the tag off. So, I wanted to pull some amazing women together. Hi, Thesha. Good evening. We've got a great, great, great interview coming up with Miss Birthday Queen Tikila Adolph. I wanted to pull some amazing women together that all had different walks. And so, I knew all of them except Denise, who now I know very well. And you guys are going to know them very well once you read their book. But what I realized was I didn't really know them at all once I read all the juiciness that y'all about to read and are going to read. If you've gotten the book, you've already started reading. And so, hey, Deborah. And so, I was like, wow, I knew every last one of them had to have a powerful story. I was so amazed with all the wonderful things that they were doing. But again, like I said, people look at, what we call myself and many of you who are watching as boss ladies, but they don't realize all of the same struggles that they had to go through. But the thing is that we did not stop. We did not let it stop us. We kept going. And just to hear all of their inspirational testimonies and stories is absolutely amazing. Hey, Tanya, welcome, welcome, welcome. So without further ado, let me introduce this powerhouse boss lady. Mrs. Tikila Antoinette Adolph is unapologetically making history and constantly proving that you can be transformed from misguided to enlightened. As a successful, innovative entrepreneur who has a heart of a servant, she knows the process of connection and positioning. Born in Michigan and raised in Spring, Texas by two middle-class working parents, Tikila is the epitome of Ephesians 4:13, meaning she continues to operate in the strength that only comes from Christ. Mrs. Adolph attended the University of Houston, majoring in hotel and restaurant management. She continued working in the hospitality industry and subsequently worked for several food chains and restaurants in management positions. See, she was already working her way as a young lady being a boss. And her tenacity and standards of excellence warranted a promotion as a hotel manager and major hotel chain at the age of 25. After giving birth to her last set of children, Tikila and her husband chose to pursue a self-employed entrepreneurial lifestyle. They commenced with a child care service where she became an in-home child care provider and eventually the director and the owner of the facility. Sometimes later, their child care business was sold for a profit, confirming them as entrepreneur efforts and expertise. As her ambitions evolved, Tikila main focus switched to real estate and the real estate industry, where she became a mortgage loan officer, a real estate agent, and ultimately received her real estate broker's license. See, bosses don't stop, y'all. They just keep going and going and going and getting more and more and more. Throughout the years, Mrs. Adolph has been a motivational speaker, a fitness expert, a Christian today. She continues, to practice real estate with her husband. A team of outstanding realtors established the Adolph Group. She is a health and wellness coach, empowering others to know that health is wealth. Yes, it is. Along with her husband, she continues to educate others on entrepreneurship with your spouse and to achieve success with couplepreneurship. I love it. I love it. I love it. Let me bring this up. I should have had this up before I brought her on. This is Miss Tikila Adolph. She is one of our co-authors for the collaboration book, Boss Lady: How We Went from Broke and Broken to Being the Boss. And so without further ado, let's welcome Miss Queen, birthday girl, boss lady, Tikila.
Oh my God. I had that written and just listening to it, I was trying not to cry.
Well, so awesome. Welcome. For those who are just joining us, please say hello. Please share. But I have to do something. Let me get my chords together. It is Tikila's birthday. Stand up, Tikila. Let's see your her shirt says birthday boss lady.
Shout out to Krisha Jones.
Yeah. So what a perfect day for you to do your interview because it is your birthday. So here we go. I'm going to serenade you with a birthday song. Let's see. Let me give a chorus. Let me give a chorus together. Okay, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And many more. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Sorry, y'all. That was an impromptu. I didn't have my chords together. I needed some hot tea.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this book.
Well, good. That's a great segue into my first question. So what made you accept this, Tikila? What made you accept this honor? You say. What made you accept
Yeah.
being an author?
Well, basically, I've always wanted to write a book. And one of my godmothers is my aunt, my mother's sister, Dina Houston, and she always said, "Keela, you need to write a book." And I was just like, I don't have time for that. I don't know what to write. I don't have time for that. And then when you approached me, this is like 5 or 6 years ago.
It was. It was.
And
It
I
was.
just said, yeah, yeah, okay. And then she never got back to me. So I was just like, whatever. And then when
I
we
got busy. Life happened. I
yeah,
had,
life
five other
happened.
projects going on. Y'all know me.
And then we got the call. I got the call to say it's go time and
It's
you need
go
to put it
time.
on
I'm ready.
paper. And it was at a time in my life where I had time to sit down, and kind of like what had happened in my life. And it was the perfect timing. Whereas 5 years ago, it wouldn't have meant what it means today.
See, everything happens in the right timing. Even for me, even doing it now, it was supposed to be now. Everything happens with the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Well, good, good, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you did say yes. So let's dive on into some of this juiciness. Oh, y'all got some juicy stories, girl. Listen, so let me ask you this. What was the hardest part? What was the most challenging part about
Mhm.
sharing? Because you got very, very vulnerable in your story, Tikila. You really opened up and shared some very, very vulnerable things. So was that hard, or what was hard? What was the most challenging part for you?
Putting down on paper what I wanted to say.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I am very popular. And a lot of people know me. And when a lot of people know you, they like know behind the scenes Tikila. So I couldn't make up stuff or say certain things and leave certain things out, because then that would be fake. Because someone's going to, oh, somebody always going to hate you. Somebody
Yeah.
always going to talk about you.
Yeah.
Somebody always going to say, well, she did this.
Right.
Putting all that on paper and knowing what all to say and what not to say, I think that was the hardest part. And then going over everything with my best friend, I mean my husband, as I wrote, I was like, should I say this? He said, put it down, they'll tell you to take it out or add to it. So that was a big help for me.
And you know what? I think that was very, very. I love Willie. That's my brother. That's my brother in love. I just love Willie, and I think that was so powerful of him to say, "Put it down," because we're not gonna tell them all of it because they got to buy the book. But y'all,
Yes.
but y'all, she put it down. Even about cheating on Willie. Yeah, even about having cheating on Willie. But we're not gonna tell about that. But we want you to get the book. We want you to come out and talk to us and ask her questions in person on March 19th at our event. But
Yes.
I love the fact that it was so well written. Everybody wrote their love, their life, their stories with such love and it was such. I mean, it was just so poignant and touching, and how he sticks by you and stuck by you and continues to stick by you. Ah, see, that's what the single women out here looking for. You know what I'm saying? They looking for that. And I want to say this too. Like you said, people see you, they know you, they think you're popular. I mean, they think you are popular. They think of you as they. But what people don't understand, and a super couple, a power couple, they look at you all as a power couple.
Mhm.
But people and people envy, like you said, people are jealous and they say things, but people don't understand what you have to go through. They see your story, but they don't know your glory, which is another collaboration book coming out. But you see, they don't know all the different things. And
Mhm.
and one of the things that you talked about, in the beginning, how in high school you weren't popular.
No.
You weren't
Okay.
popular. Yeah.
I tried so hard to fit in with different people. I couldn't fit in with my color crowd because I wasn't from there. I was new, and I didn't talk. I talked different, and it's just I couldn't fit in. So I joined, different clubs. I was everybody's friend, and then I was friends to the wrong people.
And last month, February, was Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. I just did an interview on a radio station, and I, of course, took my Boss Lady book and talked about the Boss Lady book. They wanted me to come and talk about Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month because it was the last day of February. So I say yes, I will definitely come. People know that Refresh Spirit, we do see youth as well. I will definitely come. But look, I have a new book out, so I'm only coming if I can talk about that as well. It's so funny because they ended up wanting to hear more and more about the book than they wanted to hear about Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month. But you too, you started dating somebody, and I did too in high school, who was abusive and had some teen dating violence and domestic violence. You shared about that. You shared about that.
Yes,
yeah.
And it was.
What do you have to say about that? And what would you say to any young girl right now, or any boss lady who feels like, a lot of people say it can't happen to them. What happened to me, it couldn't have happened to her, but it does. It happened to me. It happened to you. It happened to other people. Yeah.
I would say just share your story. And it's not that you're telling your business. Somebody needs to hear it. And I wish I would have shared my story a long time to my girls to make them aware of what's out there instead of sheltering them. And then I told them later, and they were like, well, Mom, I that happened to you? So tell your story. Even when I was in that situation, I was always the good girl. So when I didn't show up because of the bruises, or I skipped classes or didn't go to a lot of events and stuff because I was abused or afraid something was going to happen to me, it puts a lot on your demeanor, on how you see things and how you do things. And then that kind of right there evolved to like all of the different jobs, all of the different, male people that I tried to impress. It plays a lot. But if I probably would have told my girlfriends or somebody, and they would have not put him on this pedestal, even my parents helped buy his stuff for prom, and he's beating on their child.
Right.
It was, yeah.
But it's so normal. You don't tell people, and you try to fix it up and hide it and make it not what it really is. And as I was saying to Denise, we were talking about, I think it was I was saying it on the interview, that unfortunately grown women, 40s, 50s, 30s, 40s, 50s, are still doing that. Still doing that, still trying to make it look like it's something that is not. And you see all this stuff on social media. Be that for real. You don't have to continue to deal with it. And you don't have to continue to deal with relationships that's unhealthy, and that's not what real love is all about. So we're going to have a couple book. You and Willie are going to have to be a part of our boss couples and talk about what real love looks like. All right. So tell me this, you went from job to job. We were talking about, I'm looking at, you went from job to job to job, and then finally getting into real estate. But a lot of people think that when they see a boss lady, that you didn't go through job to job to job, that you got out of college, you knew what you wanted to do, and you did it. That's not how it happens, huh?
No, it's not. I actually had 28 jobs before I turned 26. And when I turned 26, I became a hotel manager. And so, I thought that was it. And to the point where after I had my second child, I immediately went back to work because I was a hotel manager and I was helping and doing training other managers. Then I got pregnant with my twins and realized that I couldn't afford childcare. So being an entrepreneur, we kind of fell into it because there was no other choice. We had to go into childcare, and that led to other stuff. I don't even think I talked about the postpartum depression and stuff, but mainly it's not something that you intentionally do back then. I mean, now everybody does it, and okay, we're going to start, like you said, from high school or from college. But when I grew up, you get a job. You have kids, you got a family, you get a job. You get a job. Right. That was always in delved into me to where I was at work, and if I didn't get promoted within a year, I either asked, they didn't give it to me, I quit. I went to another job. And that's how I accumulated all those jobs. I just knew it was something better. I was not going to just, and not that it's anything wrong for someone staying at the same position for years, but to me, that just wasn't in me.
And the thing about it I love is that you pivoted. You pivoted. It's like, that's another thing. That's a boss lady move. Okay, I need to have somebody keep the baby. That's going to be me. But if I'm going to keep the baby, I still got to make money. So then, you make it a whole, business out of it. A lot of people don't understand. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen exactly like you see it. You have it in your mind, but you don't stop and you pivot. Like we noticed from the pandemic, we had to pivot. People started businesses in the pandemic because you have to pivot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Awesome. And then you guys, Willie loved real estate. So he started with the real estate.
Yeah.
And don't have no boss lady in your life, because then she gonna hop on the bandwagon.
Well, and funny story how that started. So my husband and his cousin, they became loan officers, and he would tell me of what all he has to do. I was like, oh, that sounds easy. And then it was one file that couldn't get closed. And I was like, what do you mean? I said, wait a minute, this we got bills. What do you mean this not gonna close? He was like, I don't know. They said that they have to wait until next month. I'm like, that don't make sense to me. I actually went into that office and I was like, I know my husband's new, but he said that this isn't gonna close. Why? And then they were like, oh, because all of this stuff needs to be done. I was like, well, who's supposed to do all that? Oh, the assistant is supposed to do this. And I was like, so why didn't she do it? And it's like, oh, well, she's working on other files. I said, that's fine. I will do it.
I'll do it.
Girl, that file got closed that month. and I was like, oh, let me give my little 2 weeks notice to the parents so the children keep in, and I'm going to go with my husband.
Yes, because we about to make this happen.
And then I
love that
license to know, the lingo and about everything. But I've been supporting my husband ever since.
I love that. Boss lady move. People will say, I was so bossy. Like my friends, when I was growing up, my childhood friends will tell you now, they say I was so bossy. But now I know I was just being a boss back then. That was leadership. I was the one that made the decision. My friends, they laugh at me now. They say, if they had a necklace on or whatever, they said, you would just take charge. You would take out stuff. That looks better with. I said, I did that. It's like, yes, and y'all gave it to me.
I know, right?
It was just, you just talk with authority.
Yep.
Didn't even realize we were being bosses, and we were being bosses. And you went in there with a boss lady move, said to him, look, what does it take to get it done? Let me help you. Let me help you with that. Yeah. Recently, and you talk about it in your book, it's almost like one thing with life is, and another thing about bosses and anybody that continues to grow and become all that God wants us to be, we know things happen, and we talk about pivoting. Something devastating happened and you got sick, and you talked about that in the book. Share those times and how you talked about how that really changed you. And I understand that too, because the Conti that everybody knows now is different from the Conti prior to the abuse. So I know life's challenges and struggles and obstacles can change you in so many different ways. I talk about, I always give a story about the egg, the coffee, and the coffee bean and the carrot. and how there was a chef that, and I'm gonna tell the story because it reminded, your story reminded me of this story that I teach. So there was a lady that came into the store, into the restaurant where her dad owned, and he was like, "What's wrong with you?" Because she was all agitated and frustrated, and she said, "It's just a bad day, Dad. I don't want to talk about it." And he said, "So you know, are you gonna what are you the carrot, the coffee bean, or the egg?" And he's like, "What are you talking about, Dad?" And he was like, "Go back there and bring me a carrot, a coffee bean, and an egg." And so she did. And she's like, "What does this have to do with my day and my life? And everything's going crazy and all the stuff that's happened that shouldn't have happened to me, you know?" And he says, "Well, put some water in a boiler." And he told her to boil some water. And he said, "Now describe that egg to me." And she said, "Oh, it's light, it's fragile." He said, "Now put it in the water, and that water represents adversity." And she put it in the water, and he said, "Now take it out and describe it to me." And she took it out, and he said, "Now tell me about that egg." She says, "Hard, it's heavy." And she says, it just doesn't feel the same. And now he said, "Yeah." He said, "Now tell me about that carrot." She said, "Oh, this carrot is strong and it's sturdy." He said, "Now put that carrot in the adversity, in the boiling water." And she did. And he said, "Now scoop it out and tell me about that carrot." And she said, "Oh, wow, it's soft, it's mushy, it's not the same. It's, you know, it's like it's surrendered." And he said, "Now take that coffee bean." And he said, "Describe that coffee bean to me." She was like, "It's just a coffee bean, Dad." He said, "Now put it in the adversity, put it in the boiling water." And so she did. And he said, "Now take the coffee bean out and describe it to me." And she said, "What do you mean take it out?" He said, "Take it out." And she said, "I can't." And he said, "Why?" And she says, "Because the coffee coffee bean turned the water into coffee." So it went through adversity. And instead of letting adversity, sometimes we go through hard things and struggles, and we come out hard and mean and ugly and nasty and mad at the world. And then sometimes we go through things and we might have been strong, but we come back out sensitive and insecure and soft and fragile. And then sometimes we go through things and we come out bigger and better and changing the world. And that's what you did. That's what you did, Tikila.
Wow. Wow.
That's what
Yes.
you did.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
So share about your time being sick.
So in 2014, I got diagnosed with diverticulosis, and basically is a part of my colon. It has pockets. So throughout the years, in the pockets, it's collected food, seeds, and stuff that didn't get processed all the way through, and sometimes it will stay in those pockets and kind of get infected, and that's called diverticulosis.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just be like, "Oh, I'm hurting, I don't want to eat or anything." And I was letting the infection kick in. So after, years and years, and I was losing weight, and I was starving myself, trying to look like the perfect tequila and everybody's friend. And literally I was hurting myself because my diet and the things that I was doing and putting into my body was hurting my body. It was killing me.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2018, I ended up going to the hospital, which 2014 to 2017, I would go into the hospital maybe once, twice a year. But the year 2018, I went into the hospital 6 times. And that means 6 times where I sat in the hospital for 3 or 4 days and then was returned to go home and continue to do what I do. The last time in November, I went into the hospital, and when I was stayed in 3 or 4 days and was released, I was still having pains.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't even, it was a day out of the hospital, and I was just like, I can't take this. And I went back into the emergency room, and they found out that my diverticulitis was so infected that it had infected more of my colon. and I had to get some of my colon taken out because I wasn't taking care of myself. And I would, sneak some red meat. I sneak some nuts because I want nuts, and I would sneak all of that. Well, every time you sneak stuff, it's gonna catch up, and it caught up with me. And so I had to stay in the hospital for about 24 days
I
because my
actually came and visit you when you were in the hospital.
did.
Mhm.
When my parents came,
That's when I first met your parents.
yes. So it was a very challenging time. My husband and my mom were around, and they just agreed that it was a little bit more than the food in my physical body. It was my mental body. It was during a challenging time in my marriage. How I was treating my kids. Um, just a bad attitude toward life of I didn't care. I did it what I do, and so
Mhm.
I didn't have my phone. I didn't have Facebook. I didn't have Instagram, all this social media. I didn't even have like an iPad. All I had was the hospital TV and my Bible. And
Mhm.
it was a change. Certain people who inquired about where I was reached out to my husband and he told them. But that was really my time of come to Jesus, and I talk a little bit more about it in the book.
Yeah, you talk about it in the book, and I like how you said, like you said, you had a bad attitude, you had all that, but when you came out, again, like I said, sometimes challenging things changes us, and I
Mhm.
just love what, and that y'all have to read it. We won't tell them what. I just love it how you came out, and again, just a whole changed person. God
Yes.
takes us through where He wants us to be a blessing too. He really does.
Well, and then he asks you choices. You got the choice.
That's
Always
right.
have a choice.
That's right, and that that's personal to me too because I haven't shared this. This is all new, straight on air. Live Facebook. You never know what's going to come out of Dr. Condi's mouth. But I am actually I'm actually having some tests run right now too. So you guys keep me lifted up and keep me in prayer because they're not sure what it is, but they were thinking that it's looking like diverticulitis. So I'm gonna have to get with you and find out what I need to be doing, what I need to be eating, because I love nuts too. So I want to try to, start, even if it's not that, I want to make sure that I start doing the right things. But
Hmm.
I have just enjoyed this time with you. Tell me about this one last thing, and I don't want to go into like she got some juicy stuff, y'all. I love it about you and your husband about that other thing that we want to.
Yes.
But how do you buy a house without a real estate person?
Without a real estate agent, easy.
Yes.
People do it all the time. And that's one of the things why we continue to stay in real estate to educate people on buying a home. First of all, I always say you can always go to court without a lawyer and fight your own battle. Will you win? Maybe. Would you want more with a lawyer? Would you have got taken care of to the fullest with a lawyer? Most definitely. That's what they study and that's what they do. It's
Yeah.
the same thing as a real estate agent. And we take it for
But
granted that people, oh, I Googled it. I could buy my own house and get my own discount. You don't even know what you're getting a discount for.
right, right.
And so my husband and I were homeless twice because we didn't use a real estate agent. So we've been in it since 2003.
But
We're in
literally
real
thought,
estate.
but this is before you became a real estate agency. You thought too that you could actually
Yeah,
go in there and buy a house without a real estate agent. And let me tell y'all, she learned quickly. Y'all will find out
lost a lot
that
of
was
money.
not a good thing to do.
It was not. It was not.
Well, listen, you all. Please share this, share this, share this. It's Tikila's birthday. We've got a lot of people. Denise says happy birthday to you. Uh, Everybody is saying hello. Deborah says happy birthday. Tisha says happy birthday. Tanya
Thank
says happy
you.
birthday. So you all share this awesome interview of this boss lady queen birthday author today. She is so phenomenal. Her story is phenomenal. All of the stories are phenomenal. Get your book at Amazon or www.freshspirit.org. Listen, come out on the 19th of March and meet all the boss ladies. It is going to be nice. We got live music. We got red carpet, pictures on the red carpet. We got a surprise host. I'm about to announce her next week. We've got, I mean, just it's going to be amazing, and they get to sign books and talk to you all, and it's going to be. We got some special treats for you that night. You don't want to miss it, but get your book. We are almost bestseller. Come on now, support. Don't be hating. Y'all gonna be in the next book, and we're gonna be having other people buy your book that you're in to help you become bestseller. So help us, help these ladies become bestseller. Go ahead and get your book right now. We're running a special. If you get your book, because we're trying to go ahead and make bestseller, we are going to throw in a boss lady candle. I can't say it. Candle. So listen. Our theme is living your boss lady's life, because we want to encourage all of you all to live your boss lady's life. And so in the book, you'll see this little lady here, living your boss lady life. I'm trying to see. There we go. And so we have living your boss lady, living my boss lady life t-shirts, living my boss lady life cups, living my boss lady life candles. It's going to be amazing. And you can get those also at the event. We will be selling them on the website, but right now, go get your book. You don't want to miss all of it. When I tell you, again, like I said, you're going to laugh, you're going to cry. You think you know these ladies, you're going to be like, wow, what an amazing testimony. What an amazing story. How do y'all make it through that? Now I really liked y'all before. Now I really like y'all.
I love my sisters. There's some amazing, inspiring stories. Yes. Of how they're still standing.
Yes. Well, anything else you'd like to share with us before we call it a night?
No, just get the book. You can also get the book off of bit.ly/the Adolphs.
Awesome.
Make sure you just have an open mind and be curious.
Yes, have an
open mind. Share your story. That's all I want to tell people.
And let me tell you, from what we have gotten rave reviews, and I'm telling you, you all did that. You did that. People are saying, I can't put it down. I've never been able to read a book from cover to cover. I guess I'm just not a real reader. I read some and I read half, but people are like, I went from one story to the next story, and I was like, oh, wow. Then I went to the next story, and I was like, oh, wow. Then I went to the next story, I was like, oh, wow. Somebody even asked me, how did you choose whose story to put first? I said, well, we didn't. We just did them alphabetical order. And they was like, because they kind of like expound from each other, from the next one to the next one. I was like, that was just God. That was just God.
Yeah.
I have a question here really quickly from someone for you, Tikila. Let me go back and pull it up, and then we will be finished. We will be finished. It says, you said that with your testimony, you give and dedicate your life to Christ. He will change your life for the better. What is it that you feel God has done to change your life for the better?
The only thing is when you know Christ and you know all that you've done in the past and all that people have done to you, you know that it's forgiven and forgotten.
Yes.
And He loves you no matter what. So no matter whatever you've done, whatever people have done to you, that relationship with God secures your sanity, and then you know peace.
Awesome. I'm going to kick it off with this last one. Tikila Adolph, your story is the bomb. I cannot believe all of the things that you were able to overcome. You have given me so much inspiration, and this is such an empowering testimony. That was from Jard. Now, please, y'all. I'm sorry if I butcher your name. I'm so sorry. Jernada Collins.
Oh, thank you.
Really inspire her.
Thank
all right.
you.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Look, you all, please share. This was an awesome testimony. We did not read each other's story beforehand. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. People don't believe that. I was saying that they have not read each other's story. They only read their stories when they got the book, and some of them haven't read them yet. And so people think, well, did you tell them? Did you know what they were going to say? Absolutely not. I did not know what you guys were going to say. I did not even give, the only guidance I said is give me 5,000 words.
And you said go. You gave us like unbelievable deadlines. Go.
Yes,
go.
Yes. Had some deadlines. Give me 5,000. Because I love a good book, a thick book. I didn't want something that was thin. I wanted something meaty. And I really wanted you all to get into what you had to say. I saw a few books. One was 15 authors, and it was like under 200 pages. Another one was 13 authors under 200 pages. We have really 9, because I basically just did an introduction, and we got over 300 pages. So y'all really gave it to them, and it is showing up and showing out. And I thank you so much. You're so beautiful. I hope you enjoy the rest of your beautiful birthday night, and kudos to you and your wonderful chapter. I tell you, nothing like the restoration of a misguided boss lady. The restoration of I love that title too. I love a misguided. The restoration of a misguided boss lady. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. God bless you. Enjoy your birthday. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Bye, guys. Right. Thank you.
You all be with us next week. We will be doing this again with another amazing boss lady, and you don't want to miss it. Set your timer, set your clock, share. And I love you guys. Be blessed. Go get your book.